Hello, everyone. We are back with another one of CCA's interview, which is part of our outreach series. For those who don't know, my name is Aaliyah Booker. I am a CCA intern and a junior at St. Peter's University in Jersey City, New Jersey. I am majoring in biology, aspiring to become a craniofacial surgeon. I too was born with a facial difference called golden heart syndrome that came with a long road of surgeries, therapies, and a lot of rehabilitation, which you guys already know already and never stopped me achieving any of my goals. So today I am joined with David Roche. David is an inspirational humorist, keynote speaker, and performer who has transformed the challenges and gifts of living with a facial difference into a compelling message that uplifts and delights audiences around the world. With the publication of his first book, The Church of 80% Sincerity. Welcome, David. It is a pleasure to have you on our series.
No, it's a pleasure to be here. So
Oh,
good. It's great to hear that you're following your dreams. It's so
thank
wonderful.
you.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go, you know? That's how I want to live my life, do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to you. Would you
Yeah.
start by telling a little bit about yourself?
Oh, that's a hard question because I'm 79 years old and there's just too much. I was born in 1944, and that was the Second World War was still going on. My dad was in a Nazi prisoner of war camp,
Oh,
and so uh, was he going to live? Was he going to come back? Didn't
right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so I was born into the family was my grandmother, my grandfather, the
Right.
Blackie the dog, uh, my mother, her sister Dorothy, her sister Jane. So it was like a matriarchy.
Yeah.
And I was like in the middle of wartime, here's Davy David, King David.
Right.
So I got lots of that family love, like you talked about. I was just like, hell, man, I know. And even at that age, you don't remember everything, but your body remembers it all, your heart and your soul remember it all. And I was cared for in that similar way that you talk about.
Yeah.
Uh, but when I was one and I had a little discoloration on my left eye, the doctor said, "Don't worry, it'll be gone in a few days."
Right.
What is it? It's like 30,000 days now, and uh, it didn't go away. It grew, and at age one, my lower lip turned into what looked like a bunch of grapes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to the Mayo Clinic, it was all cut off, and I got lots of radiation that like made my lower side of my face stop. They didn't know what they were doing with the radiation. It was a miracle cure then. They planted gold pellets throughout the whole side of my head that had radioactive radon gas. Because I'm like Spider-Man's grandfather. And got that radiation. Uh,
Yeah.
whatever, and in my family, I was taken care of. I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Uh, and the nuns you would tell me, you have a soul, David. You're a soul. And they'd say, you're a child of God. And that just nurtured me until I was 13. I wanted to be a priest. I was a good boy. I was an altar boy. I was smart. I was oldest of 7 kids. Okay, so you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be responsible if you're that age. I went to be interviewed at the Holy Cross Seminary at the University of Notre Dame, and the priest there told me, "We're sorry, we feel that you're too ugly to be a priest." At age 13, I heard that. And that was how they said was the people in the congregation would, because of your unfortunate appearance, would not be able to have any respect for you. And when you heard the priest talking the way I grew up, that was the word of God. So what I heard was God telling me that I was a monster. That was the worst thing that ever happened to me in terms of comments.
Really.
So I took that away. I was just continued to be a good boy, study hard. I had no idea what I was going to do.
Mhm.
Just had did good in school. You know,
Mhm.
uh, I knew I was intelligent. I knew I was funny. I knew I had lots of friends. I knew I was charming. So all those things worked. Yeah, and I did various things. I got a job as a computer programmer in 1966, and
Wow.
it's very different from now. Uh,
Yeah.
but I hated it because I'm a people person. Uh,
Yeah.
I helped as one of the founders of the Child Care Switchboard and Single Parent Resource Center of San Francisco.
Mhm.
Became we were hippies. We didn't know what we were doing, but it turned into a national model with Ford Foundation funding. I was in a pioneer. I met my wife Marlena, and in my middle years, we were both volunteering to be massage therapists
Mhm.
in San Francisco. This was during the AIDS epidemic, so there's lots of AIDS patients there. And we became two of the co-founders of the first massage therapy program in a hospital in the United States.
That's
So
amazing.
that's another something I did. That's where I met Marlena.
Yeah.
That was great because we had practiced doing massage for the patients, and I'd be on the table and she would touch my face, which nobody had ever done before. My
It's
face was a secret. Yeah.
good that you mentioned that because over the weekend I watched a little film called Shameless, directed by Bonnie, and it was with you, Catherine, Jeff,
Yeah.
Persimmon. Yes. And I saw that she was like tell your wife Marlena, she was telling the story to Bonnie, and you was on a massage chair getting that good massage by Marlena. Oh, that massage looks so good.
Yeah. That really changed my life. That was the first time I really felt loved.
Yeah,
Really. So I'm being a pioneer, and then after I met Marlena, then I got on stage.
yeah,
And you asked in your questions why. And I look back, I don't know why I got on stage. And it was weird because there's nobody else who looked like me, nobody with a facial difference getting on stage. But I did it and it turned out fine.
right.
Uh, and I soon, I didn't get rich. Well, I had some good years, but I didn't get rich, but I got on stage, and that changed my life too, because I got into being my creativity. I've always been funny, but this was now getting up and standing in front of
Yeah.
200 people. Oh, that's a whole different story.
What gave you the courage to go up there, you know? Because, like, when I was younger, I was very, very shy based off my facial difference. Because, I didn't want no one to even look at my face or even to even talk to me. So, what gave you the courage to, open up and share about your story and in a comedic way?
I'm really not sure. I funny, so I went to this class in uh, the the comedy of recovery in a 12-step since
Mm-hmm.
I had been in AA, and everybody laughs in AA when people come and tell these stories, and it sounds horrible. And everybody laughs because they all know, they all know, we all know. And his whole idea, Lee Glickstein was his name. He said, "Don't tell jokes, just tell the truth. That's what's
Right.
fun." Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I tried to tell jokes about my face, like, "Hey, this is like a Ben and Jerry's fighter." Nobody
Yeah,
laughed. Nobody liked
I did
that.
my research. I did my research on you. I was watching. Yeah, they had a little clip on you on Shameless, and you were doing your stand up. And the one that really got me and was funny was when you said, "Oh, hey guys, I'm part of a gang, the disfigured guys from the show business, Freddy Krueger, Jason, the
Oh,
V's, and
yeah.
all this." And I'm like, oh, someone who I can finally relate to that could bring dark humor to life. Like this is, I love dark humor. It is so funny,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
applaud you
That's nice.
for doing that because not a lot of people could do that.
No,
Dark humor,
I love that. And then I found out kids like that, and I
exactly.
started talking to kids more. And I say, okay, who should be in my gang? And then, of course, Freddy Krueger, they all have their ideas about who should, and half the people, I don't know who they are anymore, of course. But
Yeah.
the kids like it a lot. And so I
Hmm.
took comedy classes and uh, pretty much I did really good right away and was able to get jobs and then I wrote to all the organizations about facial difference and said, hey, look, I can. So I started getting gigs and then I made my own show and
Yeah.
I did that around in Australia and the UK. I did it in Russia and Moscow too. So yeah. And then the editor at Penguin Books asked me if I would turn my show into a book. So I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, so that was cool. Of
How was
course,
that writing a book about your journey? Because I know when it comes to writing a book and telling your own personal story, that takes a lot. It takes a lot of time to put everything out there on a book. So how was it writing it?
thank you for asking. You ask good questions.
Oh, thank you.
I can tell those are difficult to answer. Those are the best questions. Um, it wasn't difficult
Yeah.
because she said, will you turn your show into a book? And
Mm,
uh, this is someone coming to me. I thought, yay, I can do that. It's already written. Uh,
exactly.
and then, so I just took the different types of my show and I extended them a little bit. I was just doing what she told me to do.
Hmm.
The thing that was new, she said, at the end of each chapter, you have to have a lesson for
Yeah.
people. I said, I don't want to do a lesson, but she made me do it. So then there was a book. And so
I'm
there you
Yeah,
uh,
I'm most definitely going to get my copy of your book because I would love to, know your journey and your, childhood and everything about your story. Because
tell
over
you what,
the weekend,
if you email me your address, I'll send you a copy. How's that for a deal?
oh, I gotta support you. I'm going to buy it.
Oh, okay, good.
Guys, I have to, I gotta support you. You're like an icon to me. Like I literally watch like all films. Like I watched Happy Face this
Oh,
weekend.
wow. Oh
Yeah.
my God. You did the whole route. Yeah.
Yes, I did. It was you did such a good job in that. Michael Jackson. Go ahead, Otis. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I did more than Michael Jackson. I did better than Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Uh, there's a story there. Here I am, when that was just a few years ago that film was made. And I'm the oldest person on set by at least 30 years. You
Hmm.
know? And a lot of the staff, the crew is like in their 20s,
Yeah.
and getting a chance to do a major film and stuff like that. Uh, and this shot with the Michael Jackson gear on was shot in the middle of the night, like at 3 a.m. And
Yeah.
here's the old guy. I'm sitting in the corner with my Michael Jackson outfit on. I just kind of and just falling asleep, and then I get my call, and I jump up, and and I look, all the young people are looking at me like, "What's
Right.
gonna happen?" But here I locked the house, I locked the house. It was,
You
uh,
did.
see, that made me feel so good. The old guy, he knows how to shake it up.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I really love that film and the message that it brought to it. So I
Great,
applaud you and everyone who was on that film.
great
Um,
people.
you made another film with your wife Marlena, Love at Second Sight, which I also saw, and you both did an amazing and astounding job teaching these young kids about, facial difference and self-acceptance. My question for you is, can you explain to us how people like us with facial differences are worthy of love and friendship?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank
Just
you.
watch me. Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the secret. Everybody feels disfigured.
Mm,
Okay? That's the secret of my success on stage. It
yeah.
took me a while to figure this out. People see me, I just definitely look different. And people say like, wow. And you can see that people are like,
Right.
what's
Like,
you
yeah.
know. Um but then you tell you that this I often will start the show or talk by saying, okay, when I count to three, I want you all to say what happened to your face.
Mhm.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. And they all say it.
Right.
Everybody says it. Because
Right.
that's right on the tip of their tongue.
Right.
Anyway, you want to know. So I tell them, and in 10, 15 minutes max, I have shifted. I
Mhm.
have changed from someone who is grossly disfigured into someone who's extremely attractive.
Right.
And what they see is someone who looks different, who
Right.
is differentiating disfigured, who is confident.
Mhm.
And you know what? They all feel that they are disfigured in some way so that I am acting out what they want.
Mhm.
Everybody wants. I am being totally myself and
Mhm.
it explodes into a universal
Right.
because everyone feels that there's something wrong with them. I don't look different from other people. I really don't.
No.
And
No.
so then it's on the, but so then what comes up behind that is that we who are facially different,
Mhm.
we have had life lessons in how to feel good about ourselves. Not easy, but better than the usual experience. In fact, it's the best because it's family, it's friends, it's
Mhm.
community, it's being in a good environment with people who care about you, and it's dancing, of course. It's
Right.
dancing.
Exactly. Always dancing.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
totally agree with you. What's it called when you said it's all about confidence and being who you are, to show other people that, we are just like you guys. And that I learned that I would say I recently just learned that I would say like 2 years ago. I learned that, being myself and being confident of who I am is gonna show others that, I'm just like you and like, they're gonna love me for who I am. And everyone does, ever since I, started showing my personality and being confident, everyone's like, oh my God, who is this? Aaliyah? Like, who is this? Who is this? So they started not seeing based off my facial appearances, but my personality and everything. So
woo, yeah.
like, hey, but yes, you did an amazing job. Like I said before, I know I'm saying this so many times, but you and Marlena did. You guys are doing such an amazing job for the
Oh,
craniofacial
yeah.
community and everything. So
Thank you. Yeah, and we're really, you know, I can't tell you what a thrill it is to work with Khadija and Erica and
yes,
everybody at CCA. It's been really, really nice. Uh,
yes. But how long have you been associated with CCA? I know you've been, with them for quite a while.
I would say maybe 8 years, something like that. I'm just kind of estimating of like going to the retreat as a speaker and then getting more integrated and meeting all these
Yeah.
fantastic people, and that retreat is so good. I remember the one in Utah. Basically, CCA took over the whole hotel, and the kids are running around going crazy. All
Yeah.
these kids, because they're just taking over the hotel, and
Yeah.
always have to watch out. You're going to step on a
Right.
kid as they're running around.
Right.
So that's what we did the storytelling and That's how we got to meet Erica and Khadijah, and then that's how we met uh, Lucille Dobson and Dr. Jazz Gray.
I heard
Yeah.
about that.
Oh yeah, and it was so like, wow, they are really good. Yeah,
Yeah, they are. Both Rashira and Jazz. I interviewed them, I would say like last year. Both intelligent and amazing women. They are so, oh my gosh. I got so nervous interviewing because I didn't know what to say because like they're so like, oh my god, it's like I don't even have words for them because they're just that amazing.
they are fantastic, and so that's why that was the motivation for the children's the CCA encounter the Tower of Facial Distance.
Yeah,
Because I through CCA, and this was in Salt Lake City. I first met them. God, they seemed so shy then. Um, but you know, you could just see right then how great they are.
right, right.
So,
So
and so that's why I felt like two things I wanted out of Encounter the Tower of Facial Distance. One, I wanted to push the fact that we who have facial differences, you go ahead and feel sorry for us, go ahead and be inspired, whatever you want, but know this, that we know something about the human condition that you do not. We've
right,
been privileged to learn this about how to love yourself from the inside to find your inner beauty, you know. And if you don't do that, you've lost. You've
right,
lost at life. And
right.
that's so we have something to show you. We have
Yeah.
something to teach you.
That's my favorite quote, which you said, um, what is it? It says, you said, it's taken me a long time to realize that my faith is a gift. That's my favorite quote that I think I saw that in the film Shameless. I think you
Yeah,
said that, like in a clip of you.
probably, yeah. Well, I appreciate your kind words about love at second sight. We've been invited down by the California Film Institute
Yeah.
to go down to the San Francisco Bay Area next month and show the film at their big theater in Marin County, California. They're like big time folks in the movie industry,
Yeah.
and we're going to show at the big theater the 400 middle school kids. So
Mhm.
yeah, and they always love it. They always love it. I love that film. What I love about that film is seeing the kids. Where at first they're like, and then they're like, oh, and then they're like,
Right.
okay. So I hope I'm answering your questions and
Oh
not.
yeah, most definitely. You are definitely answering all my questions. My last question for you is, if you could speak to your younger self now, what would you say?
I would say, this, pay attention to Aliyah. And listen, use her as an example. That's what I would say. I would. If I had you as an example when I was in high school, that would make all the difference in the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, that was thank you. What's it called? It did take me a long time to get to where, the place I am today, being an advocate for everyone. So I really admire what you said. But I appreciate you, David, for coming on and speaking with us today. It has been a pleasure chatting with you. You are amazing. If our audience wants to learn more about you, where can they follow you? Like on social media or anything?
Well, you can go to David Rhodes blog, you can go to davidrhodes.com, you can go to loveatsecondsight.org, and you can watch that whole 24-minute film, which you will absolutely love. Uh, yeah, and uh, you know, I'm at Daveroche at AOL.com. Yes, AOL, it still exists. Um, I want to say to you, Leah, this has been a total pleasure, and I'm thanking you, Khadija. I know you're listening for bringing us together.
Yeah,
I want to stay in contact with
oh,
you,
definitely.
okay?
Yes,
And
you're my new best friend now.
DFF. No, this face forever. DFF.
Yes, I love that. There we go. Hey.
Well, good. I feel like we are friends. And
But again, I think we are at the time at our end of our interview. Oh god. Yeah. We appreciate you sharing your time with us, and I look forward to chatting with you again in the future, David. I really, had a great time with our conversation. Again, I applaud you on your successes in life and everything you did in the craniofacial community. Um, I hope one day we meet and we just talk and dance even.
oh boy, that would be so great. Yeah, then Saturday, yeah, the retreat will definitely have a good dance.
Oh yeah.
And we have to tell them what music to play. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here's oh yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, love. You're great. I admire you. I cherish our friendship. Yes, and let's be best friends forever, shall we?
Yes. I feel like we connected like so well. Like I felt like I know you forever.
It's easy. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's you trust your own presence. You're being yourself. That's
Exactly.
irresistible. It's irresistible. I know.
That's all it's about. Guys out there, any kid watching right now with a facial difference, or it could be anyone with a disability, non-visible or visible. Just be yourself, guys. Don't worry about anybody else has to say about you. Just be yourself. That's the only way. Thank
She's
you.
right. She's right. Do
Yes.
what she says. Do what this woman says.